Everyone everywhere is saying to leave the leaves. Let me tell you why this is a good idea, and stick around to the end and I'm going to give you a place where you should not leave the leaves. First, let me tell you how I manage all of my leaves. Any leaf that falls in a garden bed or in my wooded areas stays where it lands. The leaves that fall here in the lawn, I will gently rake those leaves off into the garden beds or the wooded areas, or I will use a battery-powered leaf blower. Sometimes I have extra leaves and I get lots of leaves from my neighbors. They will drop them off to me already bagged up, or I will go pick them up. So there are three things that I use my extra leaves for. The first is I will use extra leaves as browns in my compost, so free compost. And then second, I use extra leaves to make leaf mold, which is a really good amendment that you can put into your potting mix. Another free item. And then finally, I will use very thick layers of leaves where I am going to make new garden beds. So if you really lay those leaves on thick, you can suppress the grass, and then in the next season, that will be one step closer to making that area into a new garden bed. And if you guys know me, you know I am constantly making my yard smaller. Now, it may not kill the grass totally, and you may have to do some work for the spring, but at least you will have the visual and you will have a head start on getting that grass smothered. I've told you how I manage my leaves, and one of those ways gave you 3 options for free garden supplies. Now let me tell you why you should do it and what the benefits are to leaving the leaves. First up, guys, and the biggest benefit that I see to leaving the leaves is you are providing winter habitat for the pollinators and the invertebrates. So the pollinators and the invertebrates and the insects, they depend on those fall leaves for winter habitat and cover. That's where they hibernate over the winter. That's where butterflies lay their eggs. That's where caterpillars hibernate. So leaving the leaves is leaving that habitat, that winter habitat for your pollinators and your insects. One specific example of this is swallowtails and Luna moths. They have actually evolved so that their cocoons look like the color and the texture of fall leaves. So if you are grinding your leaves and or sending them off to the landfill, you can guess what happens to those butterflies and moths for next season. And I've already touched on this a little bit, but this is free mulch. So if you let the leaves be in your garden beds, they are going to be a natural free mulch. They will suppress the weeds for the next growing season, and secondly, they will break down and amend your soil and improve your soil. Another specific example of why you would want to leave the leaves are for the mated queen bumblebees. The mated queen bumblebees, they will burrow down into the soil about an inch or so, and that's where they will stay over winter. Now, if you have your layer of leaves over top of that soil, that just gives them extra protection to survive the winter. Another benefit of leaving the leaves, and this is particularly true if you are just raking or you are using electric leaf blowers, is gas leaf blowers are extremely harmful to the environment. Gas leaf blowers put off more pollution than a car driving, I don't know, across the country, I think. I'll put the details up on the screen, but gas leaf blowers have actually been banned in some states just because the pollution that they put out is that intense. The final benefit for leaving the leaves, or more specifically in this benefit is gently moving them to your garden beds and to your wooded areas, is if you're raking, it's the exercise. It is actually a really good cardiovascular exercise. That's what I do. I literally just got done raking up the leaves, and I'm gonna use some. I almost forgot. The one place that I highly recommend you not let your leaves build up is in your small ponds. You don't want those leaves in the ponds breaking down and adding all those nutrients into the pond. It really wreaks havoc on the ecosystem of that pond. A lot of pond plants do not need that much nutrition, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it encourages algae growth. So if you have small ponds, try and keep those leaves out and just throw them into your garden beds. With all that being said, please consider giving the gift of winter habitat to your local pollinators, invertebrates, beneficial insects. And if you're looking for gifts for gardeners on your gift giving list, I will put up a video that you can click on, and it will take you to 5 ideas that I have for gardeners on your list. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I will catch you again next time.